welcome to your messages for the week. So these are your messages for the week beginning Sunday, the 9th of June, 2024. And the 9th of June at 7 p.m. is also the first of my Tarot and Beyond calls, which are going to be, hopefully, I'm just following the energy, so it's a new idea, but it's going to be at 7 p.m. Spanish time, that's 6 p.m. UK time, and middle of the day over the pond. And we're going to do a card reading, and we'll see what comes up. The card reading will be specifically for the people that are present, of course, and we'll see what comes up, and then we can discuss how it applies to you, which bits resonated, why they resonated, which bits didn't, or how we can apply whatever came up to our actual everyday life, because I think we really want to kind of bridge that gap between understanding these spiritual truths and these spiritual lessons and the guidance and everything coming through, the wisdom coming through from the higher realms. A lot of it we can resonate with it on some level, on a mental level maybe, and there's something maybe in the cells of your body that can tell you there's truth in that wisdom, but then the next minute we're stuck in the density of the physical world, not always knowing how to respond as opposed to react and stuff like that. So it's very easy to try and solve our material world issues at the level of consciousness that have been created, and of course we need to rise above that, which is easier said than done sometimes when you're in the thick of the density. So that's the aim of the Tarot and Beyond calls, is to see if we can integrate the wisdom into our everyday life. Living the wisdom of Tarot. That's what it is. Living the wisdom of Tarot. Are you living the wisdom of Tarot? So the month of June, the messages were all about the stillness and the reflection. You remember? Stillness and reflection, which is going to lead to divine action. But I think at this stage of June, we're still in the stillness and reflection stage. So hopefully you're having time, you've got time to rest, retreat, relax, and reflect. And last week's were all about, your suffering. Use your suffering as a tool to grow, as opposed to an opportunity to moan and wallow and stay in a contracted state of victimhood. It was very much about, let's use our suffering. So that suffering, whether it be severe trauma, on a major scale, which of course could be, your soul choosing its adversity in order to grow. But that suffering can also be your triggers. We're doing a lot of trigger work, aren't we, on this journey? So that's also a form of suffering. And of course, also the latest lesson in awakening, doing the turnaround on your judgments, that suffering, because you might be sitting there thinking, I'm not suffering. And it's doing that turnaround on your judgments, isn't it? When you judge somebody unfavorably, on some tiny level, it's still suffering, because you're putting that lack of harmony into the cells of your body, as opposed to the bliss and love of unconditional love. When we see everybody through eyes of unconditional love, then that expands you, and it's healthier for you, isn't it? So we create our own suffering. We always do, whatever level you're looking at. It could be from a soul level, but even at a judgment level, we're creating it, because by judging others unfavorably, we're actually keeping ourselves in a state of contraction, aren't we? So whichever way you look at it, whatever level that suffering is, it's kind of like part of the human process, isn't it? But let's have a look and see what the messages are for this week. I've got 3 cards that have come out. They're face down. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. It's strange how I work, but I just shuffle the cards and they're face down, and then I'll just turn them over and talk. I don't know, we'll see what happens. And if you're not new to my channel, then welcome back. I really appreciate you being here. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, we've got the Justice card, Major Arcana, powerful. It's the karma card. So it's interesting because we were talking about suffering, and I think a lot of souls, it's almost like the souls are up there before you incarnate, and you're having a little chat with your soul group, who will be not only your family, but your perpetrators as well. Some of the worst perpetrators in your life, actually, on the other side, are your best friends, because they know that the more severe the trauma, the more the opportunity for growth, opportunity for growth. Remember that beautiful expression from Bernie Siegel's book, Love, Medicine, and Miracles. When you experience emotional trauma, you're going to grow. Whether you grow spiritually or whether you grow a tumor, the choice is yours. It's harsh but true, isn't it? So because we know that we grow spiritually and we evolve through our trauma, on a soul level, the wiser, older souls choose for more adversity. And that's why when you look at a lot of the spiritual teachers, Eckhart Tolle, Byron Katie, look at a lot of them, they've had serious trauma. They've had some serious trauma to work through in this lifetime. And I think that's how it works. And so if you can relate to that, and you seem to have had your fair share of trauma, more than your fair share of trauma, it's probably because you're a mature soul, an old soul, and you chose it because you knew that you were going to grow. And there's this lovely phrase, the lower you go, the higher you will rise. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. And it's nice to remember that when you are wallowing in the depth of the human experience and the human suffering, it's good to remember that, hang on a minute, on some level, although I can't see it now, on some level I chose this, and I chose it so I could get out of it. It really just gives you that kick up the backside that you need in order to go from victimhood into the powerful creator that you are. And I think that's a really important point, because he's all about karma. He's all about choice and consequence. So it's following our soul's choices, isn't it, really? And we have to live the consequence of what our humans have to wade through the consequences of our soul's choices. But when you kind of start looking at yourself as a soul rather than a human, and start looking at your human like a child, so that you can kind of love it. It's much easier, I think, to love ourselves and to love our humans when we can look at them like a child. Because then we don't sort of beat ourselves up and berate ourselves or belittle ourselves, or put too much expectation on ourselves. We don't do any of that, because when we treat ourselves like a child, we don't make children suffer like that, do we? We just love them and let them learn from their mistakes without making them feel bad or guilty or anything else. So we need to do the same for ourselves, don't we? So he's also about legal matters. If there are legal matters coming up at all, they're going to be in the highest good of all. That's what I like to see. So there's quite a lot of that going on in the collective. There's quite a lot of truth coming out. The sword pointing up is a sign of truth. And there's a lot of truth coming out at the moment. And the scales show this balance and harmony, because things have been a little bit like this in the collective. I don't need to tell you. So there is truth coming out as to what's going on behind the scenes. I think that's a really important point, and I don't think I've ever said that about the Justice card before. There's a lot of truths coming out. And if you're one of these that have been trying to help your friends see what's going on in the world, I think there's a real message here about just stand back. The truth is coming out. We can't change anybody's opinion. Their opinion is resonating at their frequency. Everybody's thoughts, beliefs, and opinions are resonating at their frequency. So you have your thoughts and understanding because you're vibrating at a certain frequency. But your loved ones who can't see the world like you do, they're not at that frequency. That's why they can't see it. So to keep pushing is just actually resistance, isn't it? It means you have resistance to where they're at, and it will persist. So if you really, really want to help them, then you need to let go. You're not letting go just for your sake, because it can take away that frustration. You're letting go for their sake as well, because they will grow. If you just let go and love, that's what I want to say. Let go and love. Let go of, oh, it could be so many things, can't it? If you're just referring to yourself, let go of your expectations, let go of the way you think things should be, let go of all the struggles, let go, also just let go and love. Let go and love yourself, but also other people as well. When the truth comes out, let go of having to be right. Let go of them having to be any way, of them reading anything in particular. Let go and love. Just love them. Let go and love them where they're at, because they will find the thoughts and the beliefs, everything is energy and everything's vibrating at a certain frequency. So they will find the newspaper articles, they will find the videos, they will find the books, they will find the lessons, they will find the people that they need at their frequency, to use words that they understand at their frequency, in order to shift their life into whatever frequency they're moving into. And we can't interfere with that. We can't interfere. It's not like we shouldn't interfere. This is the thing. It's not, when we say you can't interfere, we don't mean, you shouldn't interfere. You physically, energetically, metaphysically, quantumly cannot interfere. So don't bother. Don't bother, because you're just going to get yourself frustrated. And it's not going to help anything. It's just going to lower your frequency, and it will keep them also in a lower frequency. So this card is really about keeping that balance, looking after yourself. Let go of the need to fix anybody else. Let go of the need to fix anybody else. It's not your job to fix other people. Let go of everything and love. Love yourself and love them. When you let go, you can flow. There you go. I'm a poet. When you let go, you can flow. So let go and love. Let go and flow and love. Yeah, that's what he's saying. So many truths coming out at this time. On all sorts of levels. Of course, it's going to be in the collective, it's going to be in your community, it could be in your nuclear family and your tribe, and it could be within the cells of your own body. You could be seeing things within the cells of your own body. You could be having aha moments on your yoga mat. You could be realizing things as you're painting your picture, playing your guitar, whatever it is that floats your boat. You could be doing your gardening. And things will come up. If you'll talk to plants, then plants will tell you some truth. Wherever you are, whatever is your thing, the thing that makes your heart sing, whatever it is, there's going to be some truths coming. Wisdom, truth coming in, wisdom coming in, and it's coming in obviously for your benefit. It's yours, it's your wisdom, however it comes in. Yeah, oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Wisdom coming in, yeah, and just let go. It's so much easier. Life wasn't meant to be a struggle. Just let go of needing to do anything, say anything, be in a particular way, and it doesn't have to do with other people. It could just be your relationship with you. That's really important as well. Just let go of having to strive. Let go of having to strive. I had this beautiful experience on my yoga mat recently when I realized that, I was always kind of trying to improve my strength, improve my flexibility, improve my balance. And then I just had this realization that, well, hang on a minute. If I'm always trying to improve something, that means I don't love myself completely as I am. And it's also this energy of striving all the time. If I'm striving, it means that things aren't perfect in the now moment. So I sat on the yoga mat thinking, no, everything's perfect in the now moment, including me, including my body, including everything. And I was thinking to myself, so what? I don't need to practice the sanas. I don't need to do any practice any yoga. And I got the message, No, of course you can practice some yoga, but you're going to celebrate your strength and celebrate your flexibility and celebrate your balance. And it sounds like just a tiny little thing, doesn't it? It sounds like, well, come on, Deborah, that's lesson one of self-love. But it was just really weird how it happened. It was like the penny dropping to another level of self-love for me. So yeah, the journey goes on, doesn't it? But yeah, it's about celebrating who you are and taking away the struggle, because there is no struggle and there is no need for change. I mean, even if you think there is, and even though if change is coming in, if you're seeking change all the time, it's just a confirmation that you're not happy where you're at. And it's the not being happy where you're at that is going to keep creating not happy where you're at, because that's how it works. So we have to be happy where we're at, whether that's our relationships, our body, our life, our work, our relationship with children, our lovers, our life, our activities, everything. We have to be happy where we're at. So yeah, that was a bit of a aha moment for me. And I got all of that from him. Let's see what else is going on. This is interesting because the Page of Wands came up in the monthly reading, because remember I said earlier on, it's the stillness and reflection at the beginning of the month that's going to lead to divine action, because wands are fire, so they're transformational and they're physical action in the physical world. And pages are opportunities and offers. So he's telling us that there's opportunities for new action, new transformational action coming in. And so I was thinking at the end of the month because of the order of the cards and how it happened, but I think it's coming in sooner, right? So yeah, it's coming in now, because of this aha moment that we're having in the now moment. So you don't have to be on a yoga mat to do it, of course. That was just my experience. But wherever you are, there's a little realization that I have to be happy where I'm at. And then you have to find the perfection in the now moment. Yeah. You have to find the perfection in your body. You have to find the perfection in you, in your life, in your relationships, in your health. You have to find the perfection in the now moment in order to create more of it. Yeah. So when we can do that, this is new action, new divine action. So for example, like I just said, so rather than striving and pushing yourself, let's do it from a place of celebration. Celebrate yourself, celebrate your body, celebrate your relationships, celebrate your health, celebrate you, all of who you are, celebrate your job, celebrate your partner, celebrate the activities that you do in life. Celebrate them. And if there's some people going, yeah, but they're not worth celebrating, it's like, well, they're not going to change if you don't celebrate what you've got now. It's about appreciating what you've got now, isn't it? And obviously walking away from things that are not serving you. I always seem to have to come back to that. If people are like, well, I'm in a dysfunctional marriage, do I have to celebrate it? No, get out of it. If it's toxic, get out of it. It's quite simple. But if you're in a little bit of a rut, or if you're in the stillness and you're not, it's about celebrating the stillness, celebrating everything as it is. Celebrating everything as it is. Our third card for the week, the Six of Wands, which is triumph and success. This card is triumph and success. Horses in tarot are positive movement forward. He has success. He's triumphed. He's triumphed. So if you want to love yourself more, you've got to love yourself as you are in the now moment. If you want to improve a relationship, you've got to love it now in the now moment. If you want to improve your body at all, you've got to love your body now in the now moment. So celebrating the now moment, celebrating the now moment. Yes, I think that's it, isn't it? celebrating the now moment, so that we have that expanded frequency within us. That's what's going to create an improved body, an improved relationship, improved life, right? But we're not focusing on the improvement. We're focusing on the celebration of everything as it is. And then that will get mirrored back to us. There will be more things to be grateful for and more things to celebrate. He is celebrating. He's having like a parade, you know, he's celebrating himself, everyone's celebrating him. He's triumphant success, and it is physical action in the physical world, and it is transformational because it's fire. So there's some, bold changes going on here. It's perfect. But how do we get here? We get to this triumphant success not by pushing ourselves, not by striving, not by struggling. Life was never meant to be a struggle. We get here by letting go, loving, and being still. It's just not the way we were taught to think, was it? There's a lot of programming that we need to release in order to understand that this is actually how it works. This is actually how it works. Wow, I love those cards for this week. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you for getting to the end of the video. I love you all. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.